Okay, everybody wants to know about Dean's storyline this season.
Thank God. You first.
Gary, go ahead.
Well, Dean is...
Dean's storyline this season. Well, I don't think it's just Dean's storyline. I think it's the brothers are back together now, so that's a good thing. I think Sam's got more. He's dealing more with more of a personal issue than Dean would. But essentially, the big topic is there's a new evil in the world that the boys are going to have to figure out how to combat. Unfortunately, there's no lore, there's no history, there's no weapons, there's no anything that they can actually use against it. So they're kind of in a position that they never really had to be in. Yeah. And they're going to they're going to kind of pool their resources and between the two of them and Bobby, and they're going to try to figure out how to deal with it. And yeah, it's going to be a very difficult situation for both of the guys.
So is Bobby the only one getting any something this season?
Let's hope so.
Yeah. It's been a while for Dean. I think it's been a while for Sam too.
Yeah, it has.
The pesky little apocalypse thing kind of threw a wrench in the.
Yeah, I think last time I got some, I opened up the Lilith thing, so that was kind of.
Oops.
Sam sleeps with Ruby, and Ruby opens up the.
Yeah, that's never a good thing. In fact, I just shot a scene where Dean steps up to a bar and hits on the bartender, and she gives him a nice little offer. I think it was I kind of played it as though Dean, oh wow, I've forgotten what that feels like. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, it's a little disappointing. We want to.
We'll see. It's still early in the season. So.
I think honestly we are. I think we are going to have. I think to touch on what Jensen was saying, is that the boys obviously have this new evil that we haven't encountered yet. It's sort of uncharted territory, and we also find ourselves losing a lot of what we've been able to rely on. Like we had an angel in our pocket. We had somebody with a lot of power who could be there at a prayer's notice and help save the day. We no longer have him. We start gradually, losing these things we relied on. This kind of arsenal of weapons and friends, and we've lost so many friends in the last 6 years, and fellow hunters, and now lost our angel. And so we're facing an unknown demon with a lack of resources. And so I think that's going to be an exciting journey for the two boys, but I do think that there will be some girls involved, so we'll figure it out. Yeah.
So what's it like not having that diva Misha Collins on set?
Great.
It's fantastic. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. We miss him. I mean, we're obviously being facetious, but he's been such a nice addition to the show for the last 3 seasons, 4, 5, and 6. And he brings a lot. There's something about when someone's been around for that long that you have a rapport with them on screen, and it's been such an interesting storyline. Remember when we first read episode 1, season 4, we were like angels now? And like, what's going on? It's almost supernatural. But then we went full force into it, as Supernatural does. And now to pull back out of it full force, it's kind of, we keep on hitting the brakes and then jamming the throttle, and then hitting the brakes and then jamming the throttle. And so it's kind of ups and downs.
Yeah, it's a big loss. I mean, it's especially not just for the storyline and the show and the characters, but also for carrying the weight of the show. Misha was he was part of the family. He still is part of the family, and he's not totally gone. We don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but there is his character is definitely taking some big hits and will continue to take some hits. So where the pieces fall with that, we're not quite sure. But
we also have a saying here: the surest way to come back is to die. So
that's true. Yeah, you're never really dead on this show.
Yeah.
Or go to hell.
Yeah,
or go to hell.
Come right back.
Or heaven. Either way, anywhere you go, there's always a way back.
Go up and bring you down.
There's always a way back to the storyline.
Well, that's the big deal with the end of last season, was that Castiel kind of swallows purgatory for all its goods and bads, and no one really knows what's in purgatory, and everybody that does know ain't talking. So Cass just kind of swallows him, not realizing that there's a lot of bad in there that maybe he can't handle. And so we're dealing with the release of, it's almost like we've opened Hell's Gate before, we've opened the Apocalypse, and now we've opened Purgatory. We're basically finding all the secret known
the worst things that you could possibly do. That's what we seek out and do. Yes, and we learn right away in the first episode of season 7 what we're dealing with, but we don't know how to deal with it. So that'll be a big shock to the system, and we also find out what happened to Cass when he opened up the door to Purgatory and what he inhaled essentially. It ain't good.
The show has gotten as big as you can get. Now we're dealing with God. Are we going to go down to some smaller little bads.
I hope so.
Send your letters and emails.
I miss the days of the Wendigo and
That's right. And white.
Yeah.
I think we
Just
kind
the
of
simple
do.
ghost stories. But
Yeah.
we will have those. We'll have the one-offs that kind of standalone episodes
We will.
where we we say forget it. This is too big for us to deal with. But you know what? This we can deal with. So
That's actually this episode we're shooting right now.
Yeah.
The comment Dean makes, like, it feels good to get back to some black and white after dealing with so much. And so we do kind of pepper in the old Monster of the Weeks, is how we call them.
Right.
So we will. And that's another thing about the last couple seasons. We've had an angel on our side to go like, we don't know what that says. Cass, what's going on here?
come
And
help
tell
us. We don't have that
We
anymore.
don't have
Now
that.
we got to rely back on
Obituaries and
Right.
newspaper articles.